Hey everyone, good morning. I'm JB Houvener, the host of the Bold Today Show. You've made it. This is where we have a live Q&A with yours truly, doing questions and answers on patent subjects, innovation, and intellectual property at large. I'm here every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific and noon on the East Coast. So come on, come all. Inventors, business owners, entrepreneurs, this is where a fun place where you can interact with me live as a patent attorney and get some questions out that maybe is sort of things you've always been wondering about what's the process, how expensive it is, what does it mean to be an inventor, patent pending. There's lots of different things. And so what I want to do first and foremost is introduce the agenda as we do every week. We try to keep it pretty succinct. So here is the agenda. I just put that in the comments. We're going to hit up the free book offer, okay? So don't miss that. I've got this book behind me, Bold Ideas, The Inventor's Guide to Patents. This has been a hallmark of our firm, and our inventors that read this get it, right? We love working with clients that understand the law to a certain degree and can ask the smart questions. This is a book that will help you get there. What's the difference between a provisional and a non-provisional? What's the difference between a trademark and a patent, right? Those are big subjects. Hey, Alan, good to see you. Thanks for hopping on. So to get that book, I'm going to send you a link. Okay, this is the link to go schedule your free screening session. When you do that, you'll get a copy of the link. A copy of the book, or it's a PDF download. Now, I do want to offer a disclaimer. First and foremost, as those that are maybe new to the program or watching after the fact, don't ask any questions live and do not share anything that is confidential. All right, don't ask any questions that are going to be exposing your invention. That's a subject that will be for a confidential consult. So if you have a question about that, your specific invention, you're going to want to book that screening session in the link I just provided to get started. So there's that disclaimer. I am an attorney, so I've got to be able to put that up there, right? I'm excited to bring on a guest today. Mark is an inventor, Mark Osteller. He is the owner of Mark's Mandalas, and it's a really fun occasion for me to be able to bring on a client, and especially someone like Mark, who has taken it from being an inventor to a business owner. And I'm excited to have him share his story about what it means to do that and put together a real plan to commercialize and monetize an invention. Then we're going to be hitting up the Q&A, the live Q&A we're going to take first and foremost. And last but not least, for our Avo.com listeners, we're going to get to you before we wrap up. So if you're listening and you're from Avo, you can fast forward if you want to, but I encourage you to please stick with us through this process. So without further ado, I will bring on Mark Osteller. Welcome to the program.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you've got a nice plaque there behind you. You got your patent granted recently, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. And so what I'd like to have you do, first of all, is we introduce yourself and Mark's Mandalas. What is your invention about, and what is the company about?
Well, I'm Mark from Mark's Mandalas, and I am the creator of Mark's Mandalas dotting tools. And I discovered about 3.5 years ago that I could create these things called dot mandalas. And have a quick example. Here's one I painted on a rock. It's just a series of dots, generally in an organized pattern like that, but you can do random sequences also. And
it's kind of like eyes or moons there. Kind of an interesting shape.
A little more of a close up there, yeah. And it's just dots laid on top of dots. I mean, there's a black dot on top.
Oh, okay, got it. There it is. Yeah.
And, depending on placement, can create different effects. And so it's and you can paint on different mediums. And I fell into this after walking away from a failed invention about 4 years of my life, and more time and money than I wish I would have spent. But I learned a ton, and I applied a lot of that information towards what I'm doing now. In fact, I'll just grab one of my individual tools. This is a little bit dirty, and this is one that I've been using since they first came out about 3 years ago. Is that right? No, 2 years ago. And 2018, yeah, was when they were released. And it's real simple. You just take this implement, you dip it into acrylic paint, and then you apply the paint onto whatever surface you're painting on. And
so there's no moving parts per se. It's a fixed pen.
Very low. Yeah, no moving parts whatsoever. Yeah, it's almost like a pencil, but you don't have to sharpen it. So you just have to dip it in paint. How
did you come up with this? What inspired you?
When I first got involved in dot painting, I saw there wasn't much out there for dotting tools. And I had, in fact, what kind of got me on the path is I discovered some transfer punches worked fairly well for what was available at the time. And but I ended up taking a series of workshops. I discovered there's something in the world of dot art, and I wanted to find something that was needed in that world, and dotting tools are something that was really lacking. People were using, and they still do to some degree, the end of drill bits and transfer punches and Q-tips and all kinds of a hodgepodge of things, but it's hard to get a gradual incremental difference in size going up. And so I'm going to see if I can do this without spilling them here. There's several different sizes that are on here, and each one
Right.
just gradually in size so that you can make progressively larger or smaller dots. And so
show us the largest one there. It's got kind of a cylindrical or larger circular end.
yeah,
Look at that. Okay.
and I wanted to make them so you didn't have to worry about having an understanding of metric or imperial sizing. So I just have numbers on them, and they're only in relation to each other. The larger the number, the larger the size of dot. I've since made a chart, but I mean, I want to keep these things as simple as possible. Because I sell internationally. In fact, I'm shipping a set out today to Malta and another one to the UK. I've shipped them Switzerland, Australia, Sweden, Germany, South Africa. So
cool.
It's very cool. So there's a lot of, it's not just necessarily a US product.
Let's take a look at your website. Do you have anything displayed there on maybe your customer's art, or maybe some more information about that? Kind of walk us through the site.
I do have some, I built the website, and I'm not a website designer. So someday when I can afford to do it, I want to have someone that knows what they're doing, put something together that is a little bit easier to navigate. But
this looks good.
But really I do try to cover the bases. There is a little bit about my other product that I have on here, Hexite Storage Organizer.
Right. Uh-oh, Mark, you might have locked up. Hopefully we can get you back. Maybe just a little blip on the internet there. There we go. Okay. We lost you just for a second, but we have you back. Let's go back to the sharing. I was worried it was on my end. Okay, so the Hex Hive, this is sort of a nice add-on to the overall product.
I was looking for a supporting product or to expand in the realm, and another pain point I discovered was paint organization and storage. As far as the options that were out there, I didn't like them, and I actually did a video on how to make your own paint storage organizer using PVC pipe. You had to cut it down with a chop saw and glue it together. And when I did that video, I determined that maybe some people would want it but didn't want to make it. So I figured I'd offer it on Etsy, thinking that no one was going to buy it. But people kept buying it. And when I'm sitting there chopping this thing down, making a big mess, I'm thinking, how can I make something that somebody can put together themselves with no tools and no adhesives? And through a collaboration, I'm licensing the interlocking technology on this, and
awesome.
It's been a great collaboration, and that's something to be willing to be open to working with other people. I mean, I remember the split second that I was offered the opportunity to maybe be interested in collaborating, my first knee-jerk reaction in my head was absolutely not. But then I took up, about 1 second later, I'm like, I got to be open to this. I have to, to be, and thank goodness, because, you don't want to just do it on your own. You want to be able to network. It's pretty darn important.
These are beautiful. I mean, yeah, so that's a great point, Mark, that you just made. It's one thing to invent, and one thing to have, to understand your own product, but to actually reach out, be willing to speak with third parties and get the help you may not even know you need. That's super important. Can you share a bit more about your story? Who are some of the big key third parties, obviously apart from Bold Patents, that sort of helped you on your journey?
Absolutely. One of the Matt from oh my gosh, I'm putting the spot here now. Matt, he has what's that? No, it's actually he runs a injection molding company down in Everett.
Okay.
And he was very helpful with me through my progress through my failed invention. And he was always really trying to give me support. And he put me in touch with the Northwest Innovation Resource Center. And
Okay.
and they were instrumental. They worked with me on my invention I'd walked away from. But then after I'd walked away from it, then they were instrumental in me being here today, because they offered a series of workshops that I participated in, and they gave me the guidance to take the steps necessary to make this product, and constantly pushing me outside my comfort zone. I mean, constantly, I learned to fail really good with my failed invention. And that was probably, at this point in time, and it was in a totally different world. I've been musical. I've been playing drums for a lot of years, but I have never been artistic in the way of painting. I can't paint or draw to save my life. I'm terrible at it. And so all of a sudden, now I'm in this world that I was always on the outside looking in. It's really humbling, and for people to be able to inspire people to try this, it's a really good feeling. I'm really glad that I fell into something, or I wasn't really looking for something, but at the same time, I'm always open and willing to investigate and see what's there. And because of that, I mean, that's huge. And to realize that you don't know anything the whole way through, or ask questions, who cares? Questions are that's how you're going to learn, by failing, pushing yourself, and asking questions are pretty monumental.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we were just talking before we went live, you're saying this is maybe your first or third or fourth time ever being on a live video, being out of your comfort zone, right?
Absolutely.
Being willing to take those chances.
I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I mean, as far as I go to the University of YouTube, and and so watching kind of I tried to get some sort of a setup in the back as far as with the plaque, and then a couple examples of my tools, but and try to work on lighting a little bit. But I'm completely outside my comfort zone right now, and it's good practice. It's good practice to constantly try to push yourself.
Hold that plaque up for us. I want to see that thing, and folks out there looking. So you've got, this is a design patent granted, and what I'll do, because that's got some glare on it.
Yeah.
So let me do this. Let me share. Oh, there it is. That's a good angle. Okay. All right. There it is in black and white, but it'll clear. Dotting tool. And so this is a design patent. And for those that have not really, looked at patents before, you can tell it's a design patent right here with the D902308. Utility patents won't have that D on it. This is hot off the presses. This was issued less than a month ago in November. And for design patents, you get 15 years of protection, of exclusivity after the date of issuance. It was filed in April of 2019, and so it moved through pretty quickly, just 1 year to get issued, a year and a half to get issued. We identify the inventor up top. Sometimes if there's a business involved, it'll be here, you'll assign it. And the claim is the drawings. It all comes down to the drawings. And so you can see here on the bottom, what Chris Melee, our patent attorney here at Bold Patents Law Firm, and our managing attorney, Tom, did is carefully draw in solid line, the sort of, I believe it's a hexagonal, right, Mark?
Correct.
Body. But we did not want to lock him into one specific shape on the end. And so we left those as dotted. And so what that does, and you can see there's 40 plus, maybe 50 drawings of examples, but he now has protection over any type of a tip on either end. I mean, the thing could be shaped like Yoda, and honestly, he would have protection on it as long as it's used in this type of facility and position. So it's a very broad patent. We're proud to be able to get that for him.
And those little circles towards the ends of the dotted line are another pretty important part of the tool too.
Yes, that's right.
That keeps
Tell us more about that.
It's they're anti-roll nubs. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to give them any kind of a fancy name, but if you've ever put a pencil or a pen down on an uneven surface, it rolls. And because the heads tend to be a little bit bigger than the shaft itself, the shaft having flat sides would normally prevent it from rolling, but with because of the fact that the heads are a little bit larger, they could roll. So those little nubs on there will prevent the tools from rolling around, which is a common pain point because other dotting tools in the market, they're all round shaft. And so you're
Right.
gonna have issues with them rolling around.
Yeah, you just sort of got sort of double protection there, obviously with the the non-circular shape of the shaft, but then as at the widest point on this circumference, you've got these dots, sort of a bubble, or I forget what nub that'll prevent rotation and from having it go down the other end of the desk on you,
or off your off the table onto your pants with being on it or something,
yeah.
or on the carpet or something. Yeah, I mean, all kinds of bad things could happen. And yeah, the semi-hex shape has actually been determined to be a more comfortable shape to hold on to versus a round shaft. So it'll help prevent fatigue. And that was a very serendipitous discovery. Between my CAD designer and I, he misunderstood what I was asking for and sent me something completely different. It wasn't that, but it opened up the doorway for me to investigate other shapes. I was thinking round. He said something that, like I said, was completely different than what it is today, but it made me do further investigation. So otherwise, yeah, I would have been just a lot more like everybody else. But I was able to make an improvement on it and make it better.
So what was it like kind of going through the patent process, if you don't mind telling some of the viewers here?
It's, you gotta be patient. It's, I mean, you guys really, I had worked with a patent agent in the past and with my failed invention, and it was a lot of asking for money, and so yeah, I really liked the process going with you guys. And after going through that experience, I was really adamant about trying to do all my due diligence with you, and I was happy that it was. I think it was pretty easy. I mean, Chris was really helpful as far as trying to get determination on what needed to be covered in the drawings, and
Great.
And he would he reached out to me as far as when I would get updates from you guys each month, pretty much like we're waiting, hurry up and wait, and it was just as I got updates, I didn't really have to do a whole heck of a lot. I think I had to. After we had the initial discussion on the drawings and got that all finalized and got submitted, I think I only had to sign off on like one more piece of paper or something. So I was able to just kind of business as usual. It didn't take up my time. So I found it, a nice experience. And yeah, I'm happy it only took, even though it's a long time in the real world, I think in the world of patents, I think that's pretty darn quick.
It is. Yeah. Anytime you're kind of within that year and a half range, we're doing all right, and happy to be able to provide that for you, Mark. Thank you for those kind words. I want to give a really quick update at the very end. So tell us where you're at, right? Where is your product at? Where is your business at? What's next for you?
Well, let's see. 2020 has been a wild year, and it also involved a move out of Washington State down here in Surprise, Arizona now.
Yep.
It's
surprise.
Beautiful.
Surprise, beautiful. Yeah.
It's supposed to be in the 70s today. A little bit later, it's going to cool down to the mid 60s. After today, but I think we can manage that.
You can guess what it's doing up here. Yeah, I'm not even going to tell you. Yeah.
Well, I was born and raised up there, so yeah, I know what the Pacific Northwest winter, fall and winter and spring is like.
Yeah.
So yeah, hang in there.
Okay.
And it doesn't get dark until about 5:30 right now, which is really nice also, because I know that up there the early sunsets. But my products, both my dotting tools and the hex storage organizer, they're available on Amazon,
Cool.
on Etsy, they're on eBay, and I'm predominantly the dotting tools. Their Etsy presence is really designed for international customers, because we're not signed up we're not really set up for international sales on Amazon at this point in time. But Etsy helps fill that void.
Wonderful. Well, Mark, congratulations. Alan Bolden, one of our viewers, congratulates you as well. So
thank you very much.
What we're going to do is put you backstage for a little bit and bring you back on if we have any live questions at the end. I'll jump to our normal kind of broadcast on avo.com. So hang tight, Mark. All right, cool. Well, let's do it. For those that have been asking about Avo, thanks for hanging in. I'm going to jump over to those questions today. We have 2 patent application related questions. And for anybody that has live questions, I will prioritize those. So please keep those coming. This first question is out of Seattle, Washington. And I'll share a screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. All right. Is it worth it to get a simple design patent? And how is it enforced? I want to make a simple product shaped in a specific way. I heard there were design patents on things like bone-shaped dog bowls. Is it really that easy? Well, we just saw one, right, with Mark's Mandalas. Yes, it is. What if I wanted to hypothetically create a cat-shaped bowl? Not really my product. If I don't see any in the market, can I get a design patent on it? Is it worth it? Can I sue anyone that creates a cat-shaped bowl, even if it's in a different style? Well, to get a design patent, it isn't just, hey, I got a cool creative idea. You've got to still get past the patent examiner. And you've got to be able to prove to them that it's novel and non-obvious, right? Those are biggies. So you can't simply have something that's been done before, right? And you can't have something that is just an obvious version or variation of something that's already been published or patented before. So assuming you've got a unique cat shape to your bowl that hasn't been done before, it is likely patentable. You will need to then file a patent application, get it prosecuted, and then issued. And anyone that uses a similar or the same exact type of bowl, you will be able to prevent them from making, using, or selling that in the US market. Okay, so thanks for that question. Let's jump to the next question here. All right. And we had a bunch come in. So this one is also out of Seattle, Washington. Let me just poke back over to see if we had any live questions. Nothing yet. This one is, do patent lawyers do their own prior art searches, or do they outsource the search to a specialized search firm? I'd like to hire a patent lawyer to patent an invention, but I would like to do as much of it myself as possible. I was wondering if I should hire a specialized firm to do the prior art search, if my patent attorney will just outsource it anyway. Great question. This is awesome. And I think I can speak for our firm, of course, and I think many patent firms, law firms, and that as you kind of progress in your career and as our firm has grown, we've realized that our specialty, honestly, is the law, right? Learning what the patent laws are, crafting patent applications, arguing, negotiating with the examiner, and getting patents issued. We're not necessarily the best researchers, and therefore we rely on experts to do the research for us. And so, yes, our firm does use a third-party search team. We've got domestic researchers and international searchers that will conduct, that's all they do is patent searching and prior art searching. And so they've become very good at it. What the catch is here is if you actually order your own, which you can do, they're available online, your own search. The issue is what keywords did they put in, and how much oversight was really conducted on the oversight and the research. You're going to get back results, right? You'll just get what are the most relevant results, but you won't get the most important thing about a search, which is the opinion, right? What do you do with those? How similar is it? Is your invention different enough to warrant filing? Those are the real answers that you're looking for, and you can't get them from a patent researcher. Those answers come from a patent attorney who knows the law and can give you that honest to goodness truth. Gosh, you know what? I don't think you should file. Or yeah, I think you should file. There's enough breadth here to move forward. So that's why you want to reach out to a patent attorney. And yes, they're likely going to outsource to a third-party researcher, but it'll be done with the supervision and guidance of the overall attorney. And it won't just be that analysis. It won't be that report. It'll come with analysis and opinion with it. So that was a long-winded answer to your question, but it's a really good one. So thank you for bringing that to us. All right. I didn't see, I see, oh, thank you, Ryan. Good to see you. And Alan, yeah, thank you for that nice comment. So third question coming up here out of LA, heat shrink perforation. We are working on a new method to perforate shrink wraps for an intended customer product purpose. We have filed a provisional on the design, how it looks, right? And the utility, how to use the perforation. Cool, good for you. I wanted to see if we need to define the distances between the perforations and the shrink and the product exactly to have stronger patents, or can it be generalized? No way, you would not want to specify dimensions, right? You don't want to put distances at all in the patent unless you have to. Okay, and sometimes you have to. When an examiner says, nope, I'm not allowing this based on this prior art, and that may actually say something about dimensions, or it may just say generally, these are positioned in this way. You can say, well, mine's different because it has a super small, interaction or exchange or coupling. And you have to actually put some numbers or percentages around that. So I would say if you've already got the filings in place, I would avoid putting dimensions or specific numbers unless you get an office action. The examiner says no. So there's no reason to limit yourself to specific distances. All right. Let me jump back to the application questions here. I want to make sure we're doing the most recent ones. These ones I think I actually already answered, perhaps. Let me jump back to the dashboard. Okay, yeah. So the patent application questions that are open, we did, I think we did this one. Yeah, we did that one. Let's do a couple of trademark ones. We had 5 questions on that. No live questions at the moment. So this first one is from LA, just asked 3 hours ago. Who has got trademark registration experience? Kindly share some tips for logo registration. Provide me some information and links of websites. So someone's looking for information here. Logos, or also known as design marks at the trademark office, are separate from word marks, right? So it's one maybe important distinction to know. And that if you're looking to start a company, a lot of people, as this question asker is bringing up, they want to get their logo protected. But honestly, what they probably need more than anything is their word mark of what their brand is protected, because that's going to give them broader rights. The word mark can be stylized in any way, it could be integrated with a logo, but if you're using that word, the English characters, with your product and associating it with the goods or services, you're going to be able to get protection that's going to be broader. And then once you've been in business for a while, and you've been using that logo and design, it's been consistent, then go back and register that logo. That's going to be the best order of operations. All right. Let's jump to our second question here. We've got a few more minutes, so I'll just keep on firing away with answers on these trademarks. So here's one, again, from Seattle. A lot of questions from Seattle. The proceeding time for WIPO subsequent designation. I have a WIPO TM registered in different countries in 2016. I now want to add Japan to the list of countries. Is there a subsequent designation procedure that lets you extend registration to new countries? And how long will it take to register? This is out of my wheelhouse, okay? We do trademarks. We do, obviously, patents primarily. So this question is fairly advanced, so I don't know if I have a great answer on this. I do have a trademark attorney that works with us, Matt Colset. So what I'll do is I want to have him answer this instead of me. Okay, so get with me. I will send you my email. I can provide that here for specific questions. Email JD for specific questions or legal consultation. All right, there we go. And we'll leave it right there, and we'll just bring Mark back on and see if anybody else had any other questions. We're almost at that 9:30 mark. Welcome back.
Hello, I'm back.
All right. Well, I didn't see any questions pop in live. We'll give one more minute before we wrap up this segment. But again, it was so nice having you on. I actually didn't know you were selling on Amazon. I took a look at that when you mentioned it. How have sales been on Amazon? I've always wondered what's that like.
They're huge. I mean, as far as relative to other platforms, they have such a massive customer base on Amazon that, things like Etsy and eBay they don't compete. They're great reporting situations. They allow you to pivot. If you have an issue with something, I ran into some issues that was my own fault on Amazon, and it hurt my sales for a little while. But I was able to pivot and have Etsy and eBay kind of pick up the slack a little bit, but they just don't compare. I mean, Amazon has got such a big marketplace.
Cool. Well, I'm so happy for you. Thanks again for coming on.
There's also my registered trademark as well, and it's I did the word one as well, so I didn't worry about the logo. And you offered great advice, because I thought of a million different ways of doing a logo. And if you just do the slightest little tweak on it, it's different.
Yeah, you got to redo it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's a great story. You really are, sort of the, poster child for, taking the invention to market. So we'll probably have you back on. I want to hear more about your successes and maybe other inventions as we move forward. Thanks again for being on the show, Mark.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks, JD.
All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.